Hi, this is Josh from Boost TBM. In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the simple steps you can take to reduce your stage calculation times. Here you can see I'm in the cost model diagram. One of the things that you can do is look to see if you have unneeded objects or unneeded components that you've installed that are now unnecessary for whatever reason. You couldn't get the data, or your architecture changed for whatever reason. Here you can see, mainframe storage. I have this installed. It comes with out-of-the-box metrics. Some components come with out-of-the-box reports. They have drills. These things could be installed and calculating each time you check in your environment, but may not be used and have no value to you. So by uninstalling these unnecessary components and removing these objects, you could be saving yourself a little bit of calculation time. Another thing you can do is look for reports that you have that are not being used. If you've modified an out-of-the-box report collection, maybe you've pulled the application portfolio report out of the collection and it's no longer being used. It's still being calculated in the background, and all of the drills associated with it are still occurring in the background, but it's not needed anymore. So if you go to the report tab of it and uncheck this active checkbox, that stops this report from being calculated every time you check in your environment. So it's another simple step that you can take. And all of these things are additive. None of them are a silver bullet to reducing the time, but all of these are additive and can make a little bit of a difference. Another thing that you can do, a simple step, is go into your project time settings and go to this closed months. And if you're a few years into your project, like this project here, you can see this is 2019. I can close the months for 2019. We're now in 2021. I don't need to recalculate 2019. I can close these months here, which effectively tells Apptio in the environment we don't need to recalculate 2019 every time we check in the project. Nothing is going to change in 2019, so we shouldn't need to recalculate it. So this is another simple thing that you can do to save time on that stage calculation. One of the common things that you'll hear is reducing the granularity. Reduce the granularity between objects, of your allocations, reducing granularity. So let's take a look at what that effectively does. So if we look at this relationship here between cost source and labor, you'll see this is an assignment ratio table. It represents the relationship between these two objects. There's 1,412 relationships. If this is a 10,000 row table and this is a 10,000 row table, there's potentially 100,000 relationships if we connect every row to every row in the other table. But if we make the granularity at the cost center level, then it's only, the maximum potential relationships are the number of cost centers in the one to the number of cost centers in the other. So that's what it means by reducing the granularity. And that can make a significant difference in the calculation times. And it's could be the most significant difference depending on the size of your tables and the granularity of these allocations. So it's a good practice to understand the granularity and the size of these relationships between all of your objects. And if you have drills from reports that are higher in the model that are going through any of these, those are also going to be extremely taxing on the calculation times. Now, the last thing that I'll recommend that you could also do would be to contact your CSM about getting a platform health check done. And so what that is it's a list of all of the calculations that are occurring in your environment and tells you how long they're taking. So this tells you exactly where you can focus your efforts. Maybe you've done these things and your stage calcs are still taking a long time. This report will tell you exactly where you should focus your efforts. If it's a specific drill or a specific report, whatever it might be, it will tell you what the most demanding calculations are, so you know where you need to go and focus your efforts on. So that can be very useful as well. So, all of these, everything is additive. Nothing, like I said, nothing is a silver bullet, but these are all different things that you can do to try to improve the time a little bit, when it comes to these calculations. There's, nothing you can do about, a million row table, multiple million row tables. There's environments that just, that's the size of the table and there's not much you can do about it. But, there's no replacement for good config, not using multiple lookup X's all over the place, increasing the size of your tables and your allocations unnecessarily. So with some good config and following some of these simple steps, you should be able to make a bit of a difference in your stage calc times. So I hope you found this helpful, and this is Josh from Boost TBM. If you have any questions for us, you can reach us at info@boosttbm.com. Thank you.